Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Oh, freaking cock and balls. I messed up the title for this, but anyways, folks, this is Let's Talk Football, episode number 10. We're going to breeze through. The title of this video or stream is we're going to edit this, who's Super Bowl contenders? Like that Super Bowl contenders debate. I don't know, man. This is the 10th iteration of Let's Talk Football. Shift God worried me from this chat a couple of minutes ago because we weren't live then. But yeah, this is our 10th iteration, guys. This is available on streaming sites, Apple and Spotify. But I don't know, man. I really enjoy streaming. It's really difficult because I don't watch too many streams anymore, and I don't stream anymore. But that Kenny guy, Kenny for real, Kenny Beachum over in NBA YouTube, he's huge. He's been streaming here on YouTube, and I don't know, man. I feel like I always psych myself out when I am streaming football, NFL content on this channel. For some reason, I don't really understand it. This is my bread and butter, man. This is how we got Will Upton originated, pretty much. But this is mainly a live interactive show, but the link is in the description of this, or type in Let's Talk Football with Jackson Ostro. Yeah, my name's not Will. On Spotify or Apple, throw it a 5-star. We got five stars. We got four stars over on Spotify. But anyways, I wanted to do this way more often. I think we rattled one off last week. But this is supposed to be just a super chill, super casual. It's not supposed to be at 10:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me pull up the article we're going to be running. This is meant for the daytime, but this was just a weird day. And, I've had a pop or two recently. So we have extra energy for some reason, man. And my family is from the Midwest. And it's getting dark. I haven't been there since the Packers-Bears game in Soldier Field like a month ago. It gets dark in the Midwest region, or at least it did a month ago at like 4:30. It's like 4:30 p.m. It's like 5 p.m. and it's pitch freaking black. But folks, hit that like button if you guys haven't already to get this stream out to more folks. I wanted to just kind of pull up a power rankings because I think we did this last week. But the title of this live stream here is Who's Actually Super Bowl Contenders? And Colton here in the live chat, if you're listening to this audio version, are the Steelers contenders? I'm a little bit old school. Let me throw this in. We're hitting McDonald's right after this stream, by the way. Here, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a quarter pounder, but I might be feeling a double quarter pounder. It's funny because if the Kansas City Chiefs didn't exist, can you guys see the screen here? If the Kansas City Chiefs didn't exist, I just genuinely think anybody could win the Super Bowl. Like anybody could win. And granted, when you watch the Kansas City Chiefs play football, which honestly I don't do live anymore because it pisses me off. I hate watching it. Kansas City's 13-1, but when you watch Kansas City, and I was listening to I love Nick Wright, and I love The Herd, and I love, FS1 and ESPN. I do enjoy NFL Talk show radio or TV or whatever. And Kansas City, man, they were hyping that win up 21-7 against the Cleveland Browns, where literally Jameis Winston got benched. And I just didn't really see it. I have not seen it the entire season. I just literally do not see it. I don't see the hype of the Kansas City Chiefs, but granted, you could make that very same. Instead of the worst flavors, wintergreen. I just don't. The thing with Kansas City is first off, man, never in my entire life, and I know we're getting into some hot takes. What's up, Big Dash? I just want to sorry, Colton, we'll get to all these teams here. I've got the article pulled up that we're going to get into here. I've never, ever in my entire life, and I think we've talked about this. On it, we gotta switch. We gotta rotate. I think we've talked about this on a Let's Talk Football. We've only done 10 of them. The Super Bowl felt last year extremely rigged. Now, granted, I hate San Francisco because I'm a Green Bay Packers fan and they obliterate us every single season. But the Travis Kelsey, Taylor Swift, like when they first started dating or seeing each other or whatever the hell it was, and it starts catching NFL, not only NFL media world, but it starts hitting like news. It's Taylor Swift. Oh, she's the MJ of this era. I don't really care. I like Taylor Swift, or I like old Taylor Swift, and I love MJ. I don't care. Uh, people were really, really pumping that content out. And there was just something gimmicky about the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl this season that just gimmicky. And I've never ever in my entire life, I'm only 25 years old, but I just like watching football. Yeah, I've got a California UNLV right on to my left. I just like watching football. Yeah, I just literally like watching football live especially, but even post live. Something about Kansas City winning the Super Bowl last year, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right. But at the same time, I do love football. And I do love Patrick Mahomes in the sense of, damn, dude, this guy's a beast. I remember being in college watching Patrick Mahomes torch teams and being like, this guy is the dude. This is the man. And now it's just getting a little bit stale. But I don't view Kansas City as a literal, obviously, they're Super Bowl contenders. But a lot of it's like, I don't even really want to say refs. A lot of it's like luck. And so the point I'm trying to illustrate here, if you're watching this audio version wise, which by the way, a lot of you guys listen to this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the links in the description of this. Thank you so much, because that was the whole point. Actually, I love doing live streams, but I really want to get into NFL podcasts or just podcasts in general. If you took out Kansas City, like I don't even want to play the game of, because I know Patrick Mahomes is healthy now, but I don't even want to play the game of, like, God forbid Patrick Mahomes is done for the season. But in a hypothetical world, let's not play injuries. Let's just say the Kansas City Chiefs did not exist, or let's say the Kansas City Chiefs were 1-13. Anybody literally can win this. I mean, anybody can win this. So Colton here is talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we got a bunch of chats here. Do I feel confident with Philadelphia? Like if I was betting like if I was betting cold hard cash, aka this $50 bill. Let's play a quick game here. We got bad lighting here in this makeshift office. I conveniently have a $50 bill right here, which I don't think many people know, but if you fold it in half, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Actually, that didn't work. I have a 20. So don't worry. I'm not even trying to get in conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But if I had $50 here to bet on a Super Bowl team here, do I feel comfortable doing Philadelphia? Not even a little bit. I mean, not even a little bit. Like literally not even a little bit. Not even a tad. Maybe they could make the Super Bowl. Buffalo? I know a lot of it's Patrick Mahomes, but Buffalo? I don't know. If you guys didn't know, I first got implemented into YouTube. I got into YouTube a long time ago, but in college, somebody put me onto NBA YouTube. And so I was a junior in college in 2020, and I made only Houston Rockets content, and I started making NBA content in 2021, and I did that in 2022. And halfway through the NFL season is when I first started making like NFL content. So NBA was always my bread and butter. I never thought the Denver Nuggets would win an NBA Finals that year, the year they won it a couple of seasons ago, because I had, stupid, small, little concerns like, do they have a backup big? Then you watch it and you're like, oh, they don't need a backup big. They have Nikola Jokic. And so Buffalo has Josh Allen. But Patrick Mahomes really skews my vision of the AFC, where it's almost like it's just Kansas City or bust. But could you imagine, like, throw it in the live chat here, because we're going to hit the chats here. Dude, like if I told you, let's say I'm a time traveler, these hymns always make me hiccup. These pretzels are making me thirsty. If I told you the Super Bowl was Buffalo versus Philly, you'd be like, really? Both? BOAF? Both? Shannon Sharp? Unk? Both? Buffalo and Philly? Buffalo, Detroit, Buffalo Soldier, Buffalo Vikings, Buffalo Philly. Like, damn. That Super Bowl doesn't really do too much. I feel like typically Super Bowls don't do too much to me. But on this athletic article, their number 1 and 2 teams, rightfully so, are, Buffalo and Philadelphia. And I just don't really see that. Buffalo's given up over 40 in 2 straight weeks. We got to get to Colton here. Are the Steelers contenders, man? Like I said at the beginning of this, I'm just like an old head, I guess. I don't see why not. Like, I love making NFL videos and I love watching the NFL and I love talking NFL and like like Washington, can Washington win a Super Bowl technically? Do I think they're gonna? Probably not. Um, is Denver or Los Angeles gonna win a Super Bowl? Technically, but probably not. But then I look in the NFC and I'm thinking about teams like, Tampa. Like, ooh, Tampa could win a game. Los Angeles could win a game. And there's something different about this Pittsburgh Steelers team. And I know they just lost to Philadelphia, and take it from a Packers fan. Like, I've been there. We've been there. But the major flaw with the Pittsburgh Steelers is outside of George Pickens, who's catching the football. And that was on display 2 weeks ago. And they won. And it was extremely on display against Philadelphia. And so if George Pickens doesn't play this upcoming week against Baltimore, maybe Baltimore takes over the division lead. I'm going to be a little bit not stressed, but are they Super Bowl contenders, man? I don't even mean like they're missing a Brandon Ayuk, because obviously every team's missing a Brandon Ayuk. Like, no matter if you're San Francisco, you're missing a Brandon Ayuk. But that was a big trade rumor in the offseason. Pittsburgh was not supposed to be in this position. And so I hold the belief of any given Sunday, even Tampa, Pittsburgh, Denver, like, why not? But if that 50 was on the table here, I'd probably not throw it on Pittsburgh. We got Donald. What's good, Donald? Purple Jesus lefty. My God, it sounds like Michael Penix, even though he's not. The day's going good. We live here in Florida now. It's 10:44, man. I'm tired. We're going to McDonald's after this. I haven't eaten dinner. I'm really feeling it. I didn't sleep a second last night. It keeps happening to me, and I don't think I'm working hard enough. I didn't sleep a second last night. I haven't slept in a long time. But other than that, man, the day's been solid. It's been a solid day. I moved from Fort Myers to the Tampa area about 3 months ago, and I just can't adjust to it. It's just taking time. I just can't adjust to it. It just takes time, especially as a Chicago kid. Like, it's so different. But it's all right. Buffalo's defense. I'm watching that broadcast. Buffalo's defense. Buffalo Soldier. Buffalo's defense. Oh my God. Fear them. The reason, guys, the reason the Detroit Lions just threw up 42 on the Bills defense because DeMar Hamlin was injured. Let's be real here. I think Green Bay is the most talented and healthy team in the league, along with Buffalo. I got a $100 bill that says Buffalo and Green Bay will be there. That is a phenomenal Super Bowl. So after dealing with Kansas City and San Francisco, 2 teams I literally could not care less about, I like watching greatness, so I don't mind a Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl as long as, like, if it was Detroit. If Detroit took down San Francisco, fuck Kansas City, man. Come on. Does Kansas City do barbecue that well? And I like making Chiefs videos too, especially in the summer. But Bills, Packers Super Bowl, I mean, that intrigues me. I just feel like the reason I haven't been enjoying Super Bowls recently is because of Kansas City. And I would love a team that's not named Kansas City, or a team to just take down Kansas City in the Super Bowl. But I'm not a nerd. I'm not a dork. But Kansas City versus San Francisco, I don't know what that does for me. I prefer the commercials in a game like that. These are fake glasses to emphasize the nerd point. Yeah, that's sick because you got Tampa in there. And as a Packers fan, man, the last thing I wanted to do was head into Seattle in a playoff game and play Seattle just because I've been scarred. Brandon Bostic comes to mind. Uh, but that win on Sunday night, definitely helps me out here. Tampa's just not a team I want to play. I think they're slated. I think Green Bay is slated to go to Tampa right now. It's just not really a team I want to play. We got Brisk JC in here. Oh my God. An absolute Will Upton legend. Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. If I had a gun to my head, what's my Super Bowl pick? I actually just made a Lions video. I'm very big on Lions still. I would probably go Detroit versus Kansas City. Number 2 would be Detroit versus Buffalo. Detroit versus Buffalo Super Bowl seems way too easy. That just seems like keep dreaming, dude. Just keep dreaming. We got Rockets culture in here. Everyone check this dude out. He makes my thumbnails, including the one right here. Appreciate you, man. We have our I'm gonna just throw this in here. We don't stream enough anymore. I have a Twitter. The link's in the description. It probably throws you to some shitty tweet I had a long time ago. Check out the Twitter. Give it a follow. I'll follow you back, especially if you're in this live stream. But I keep tweeting and I keep getting 0 likes, and I feel like these are good tweets. Let's move down the power rankings. Keep throwing the live chats up. But Detroit, one thing I said in my Lions video an hour or two ago was when Aiden Hutchinson got injured like 2 months ago, I just thought it was the end. And I remember a couple of nights ago, because my whole dad's side of the family's from Detroit. That's why I make a ton of Detroit videos. I got a Detroit Lions channel that I mainly re-upload stuff on because I'm like 70 subs away from 1,000, and I'm just trying to hit 1,000 before we get into it. 2 months ago, dude, if you ask me, Aiden Hutchinson's season-ending injury was back for the Super Bowl. Yeah, cool, awesome. I'll keep dreaming. They haven't missed a beat. They just haven't missed a beat. Detroit's still my contender, or sorry, I should say Detroit's still my favorite to make the Super Bowl. I love my Green Bay Packers. I really like the Minnesota Vikings a lot. I love Tampa. Now that we're in Tampa, I got a Bucks channel too because I made a Bucks channel like a couple of years ago in Tampa Bay era because I kind of felt like I was going to move to Florida eventually when I was still in Chicago. But I don't know, man. Detroit, Philly doesn't do it. Minnesota and Green Bay do it. Can they get it done? No disrespect to those two teams. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan, but I don't know. It still just feels like Detroit's here. It feels like a Detroit-Philly matchup. I think my Green Bay Packers are a little bit too young, and I don't worry about Minnesota. I don't worry about Sam Darnold getting it done in the playoffs. I mean, the Vikings are 12-2. It's insane. And I do think because my Packers play the Vikings, Detroit plays the Vikings in Week 18. There's a lot of football left here, so I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself. But Detroit, man, they're just doing so much with so many injuries. And one of the things I actually have this note, so let me just go to it. I mean, just Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, 3 Pro Bowlers on your offensive line, DJ Reader, Zadarius Smith, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. It's still a good freaking football team. This is really good. You still got to put up 48 to take down the Detroit Lions. That is true. Thank you. I've never been on oh, hell yeah. Man. It's just Detroit's just such a cool season, and I say this on my Lions channel a lot, but I don't think Detroit was 1-6. I think at that point they were 2-6, maybe. This is Aaron Rodgers' last football season for my Green Bay Packers, and I just barely started making NFL content. I didn't really know what I was doing. I would just watch a game just like I do right now. I just watch a game, post about the game, and that's it. And the Detroit Lions at that point, I think they were 2-6, maybe they were 3-6. They were probably 3-6, and they beat my Packers, and it was like a disgusting, ugly football game. And I'm like, there's something going on in Detroit. There's just something going on in Detroit. Like, that's just crazy. Like, what the hell did I just watch? I'm a Packers fan. I watched the 0-16 season against my Green Bay Packers. I watched that as a little child. Who's ever feared the Detroit Lions? Like, and this is no disrespect, obviously. This is just coming from a Packers fan. It's like Detroit. Okay, Stafford's really cool. Megatron's really cool. And there was that one year I was in high school. I think it was 2015. It had to have been 2015 because I remember I was a sophomore in high school, and the person I wanted to ask to homecoming was away, and my dad lived in Virginia at the time, and I was like, I got no date. Let's hit Virginia. And I just remember that was around the time where the Detroit Lions, I think, won the division. And that was the last time I remember Detroit being like, a really good, talented football team. And I just think they have this storyline, and there's the aura, there's just this energy, there's next man up, they're well coached that, even despite these injuries, and they're getting guys back. You're going to get maybe Carlton Davis back for the camp, or is it Carlton for the conference championship games, or Montgomery? Maybe it's both of them. You're getting Melifanu back soon. Hopefully, you're getting Rakestraw back. You're getting Alex Anzalone back. That linebacker room is going to be, way more improved. Alex Anzalone and Jack Campbell in the playoffs, like, that's a really good linebacking tandem. And Campbell's done a phenomenal job in the absence of Alex Anzalone. I just really think, even with the 20 plus dudes on IR, that why can't Detroit win it? We just mentioned all these players, and it's just like, they're a really good team. The Detroit Green Bay game was so bad officiating against Detroit. There are a few games, like when I watch the Packers Lions play, I'm very conflicted in the sense of people don't watch my Green Bay Packers videos anymore. People watch my Detroit Lions videos. I've been burned from the Detroit Lions, and I've been burned as a Green Bay Packers fan in the Aaron Rodgers era, that I'm not the type of dude anymore. Maybe I was, in middle school or high school even, where the Packers lose a football game and I'm pissed the whole freaking week. It's just not really me anymore. I just like football. I just like sports. I have biases maybe in certain games. I'm rooting for the Green Bay Packers to win, but at the same time, it's almost like a win-win. And so, referees officiating, I think there are a lot of games every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever, that you can look at and be like, what the hell was that call? Where the f was that call? Like, what are we doing out here? And, so referees are just always something, throw this in back in, that I've tried to stay away from, just in general. Talk about the fishing in Green Bay Detroit game. Green Bay is a better fucking team all the way, baby. I think this is what I thought was really in the cards last season, was a Detroit Green Bay conference championship game. And I think that would break the National Football League, because that is just so cool. And even, Green Bay versus Minnesota, or Minnesota versus Detroit, it'd just be so sick. A conference championship game with two divisional rivals. But it's so annoying. Last year was so annoying, and I've always hated San Francisco because of Jimmy Garoppolo, who's from near my hometown, from high school, and Colin Chitternick. Like, fuck them all. Like, I just literally I hate all of them. I hate all of them. Brock Purdy, fuck you too. Like, when I'm not watching a Packers San Francisco game, I don't feel the same way, but they've owned me my entire life, and I miss the Brett Favre era. Or I wasn't old enough to appreciate Brett Favre versus San Francisco. And so the Packers losing to San Francisco last season, where I don't think we should have lost that game, just pissed me the fuck off. And then Detroit losing to San Francisco in the conference championship game, I also don't think they should have lost. And it's like, F them all. Just F them all, dude. Detroit, Green Bay, any NFC North conference championship game will be a storybook. I don't have any firm opinions on Philadelphia. That city's always really intrigued me. I've had a layover in Philadelphia. I've never been there. Love It's Always Sunny, and Yeah, I know their fans are very passionate, and I've just never really, I'm a Midwest guy. I don't really care. That doesn't affect me. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm not a Celtics fan. That doesn't really bother me. But I don't know. Philly's a really good football team, but I don't know. I don't think they're gonna be the one. Uh, hey, that's awesome, Donald. I'm from Chicago, but I actually believe the Pack will take this. Oh yeah. What is the week we have Minnesota? Is it 17? Why can I not? We got the Saints. Then I think it's Minnesota, and then at Lambeau, week 18 against the Chicago Bears. Donald, you'll like this. Oof. I was at Packers Chicago a couple of weeks or a month ago now. Oof. Got me feeling nicey. Zach Charbonnet is hurt. Are you kidding me, man? I really feel for Seattle. If they don't make these playoffs here, I'm going to be very upset. The Rams are a talented team. Seattle's just, when you zoom out, it makes so much sense. It just makes so much sense. Like, they're exceeding expectations. Like, you can sit here and think Seattle is going to be in playoff contention, but I mean, what McDonald's done to this defense, it's very impressive. And one day they'll move on from Geno, and then maybe we can start talking Super Bowl, conversations with JSN and Ken Walker and Charbonnet and probably a soon to be tight end. Even though I like Noah Fant, DK obviously, but that defense is insane. It just is insane. And the Packers, biasly, they're a really good football team. And to go into Seattle on Sunday Night Football, I don't know, man. The Packers show up when they have to. And that sounds funny when I say that out loud, because I do remember the Green Bay Packers losing to the Giants and Tommy DeVito late last season. And I remember going into Las Vegas to play Jimmy Garoppolo and losing. And those were primetime football games. But it's changed a lot. All right, let's hit this power rankings. Keep throwing opinions, comments, questions down there. We're probably not going to go through the whole thing because Quarter Pounder is really calling my name here. My Green Bay Packers. I'm going to make a Packers video tomorrow. 100%, 10-4 here, I believe, winning in. Minnesota clocking in here at number 5. I tweeted this yesterday. I don't see why not. I don't really see why not. Why can't Minnesota? Why can't Minnesota do it? I don't know. I don't see a reason why they technically can't do it. Kansas City, moving on. Pittsburgh Steelers. Watt left Sunday's game after turning his ankle. Pittsburgh had better hope. It's not serious. The Steelers are 1-11, including the playoffs, without him in the lineup since he was drafted in 2017. Yeah, that really sucks because I remember that against Buffalo last year. Let's take a look. It doesn't look like George. He's on my fantasy team. I was 5-9. It was a 5-9 fantasy team, and I just took down the number 1 seed. My team's decimated. I started George Pickens 2 weeks ago because I ran out of ads, but it appears based on Yahoo Fantasy Football Writers that George Pickens is not going to probably won't be playing in his 3rd straight game. Oh, wow. Justin Field, was it Wednesday? I guess it's Wednesday. Oh, you guys can't even see this. Let's see here. If he play, Patrick Queen said if he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Would I love TJ out there? Heck yeah, I wouldn't. But we got Herbs, Alex Highsmith, Preston Smith, Jeremiah Moon. Whoever goes out there, we have the utmost confidence in them to go out there and get the job done. I know there's big implications to just straight up beat Baltimore on Sunday or Saturday, I believe. Yeah, Saturday. Is that game in Pittsburgh? I think it is, right? Oh, it's right there on the screen. It's in Baltimore. Huh. That was the game I was at, Packers Bears. I know this game means a lot. Like, it really does. It just means a lot. And so, I mean, the final score could be 3-2, and I would take that if I was Pittsburgh. Packers will beat Minnesota. Snowstorm tomorrow? Really? I've got to alert my mother, who's probably aware. Baltimore, man, I don't even know if I've ever made a Baltimore Ravens video on this channel. I like Lamar Jackson a lot. Derrick Henry's a stud. There's been something about Baltimore in the last several seasons where I watch them and I just don't even really. It's just like Buffalo, man. Like if Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City didn't exist, we'd be having much different conversations around Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. After watching the conference championship game, um, they beat New York 35-14. I don't know. They're a really cool team, and I have family from the Baltimore, Maryland area, and I feel like in the family group chat, I'm way too tough on them. But I kind of think it's constituted, and nobody really got that until recently. Oh, Wisconsin. Oh my god. Is Monday in Green Bay? That would be a long snowstorm, but we got an ad here. Shout out to our non-existent sponsors, Fidelity Investments. This kind of looks like AI. Do you guys see that Coke ad? All AI. I don't think people know that. Denver Broncos clocking in at 9. We made a video on them yesterday. Washington's still a really interesting team at 9-5. I made the mistake of watching that whole football game at 1 p.m. on Sunday, and I was not impressed, but that happens. I don't know why, but Minnesota versus Jacksonville, like many moons or probably a moon ago, a month ago, they looked horrible and they still won that football game. And I don't view Minnesota as like, oh, they're going to choke, but very cool story. Tampa Bay in at 11. I love talking Tampa Bay. We've been doing it many days straight. Los Angeles at 12. I need to make a Rams video. I'll tell you that. The Houston Texans, I don't think I made a Texans video in a very long time either. CJ Stroud, I don't know, man. My buddy's a huge Bryce Young supporter, big SEC football guy, and he always had the opinion of Bryce Young over CJ Stroud, and I think CJ is better by far. I think they're both very good, capable quarterbacks. I got to get back into the Texans, but I don't know. They just don't really. I'm not really fearing Houston, but why not? I don't know. It's a cool playoff. Seattle's here at 8-6. Big game against the Minnesota Vikings at home this upcoming Sunday. Must-win situation. Then you got the Chargers. We'll rattle through these because I gotta go. I gotta eat this food. Cincy. Oh man, I played you, Joe Burrow. You had me in the first half. Not gonna lie, and then thankfully, you guys just kind of coasted to the 37-27 win. Arizona. Nice win against the Patriots. That hype has kind of dismantled. I view them very similar to the Detroit Lions of 2 seasons ago. Atlanta, I don't know what the hell is going on over there. I would never bench Kirk Cousins. You go to a Soldier Field game, Kirk Cousins, he's sitting down. I like Captain Kirk, but Michael Penix getting the start against the Giants, and I think it's just too late to go back. So they're going to have to, the way I see it, and I'm not GM, but the way I see it is they're going to have to pay him his guaranteed money, and then I'll probably pick a team. And I think I saw the Pittsburgh Steelers as a rumor. Dallas Cowgirls, I got nothing for you. CeeDee Lamb's cool. Miami, I also have nothing for you. San Francisco, I shouldn't have even said your name. I like Anthony Richardson for the Indianapolis Colts, but now we're kind of getting into the draft pick era. New Orleans Saints decimated by injuries. The Jets, I need to watch my GOAT, Aaron Rodgers. I need to watch Enigma immediately. Bryce Young, please play on Sunday. Please play on Sunday. Chicago Bears, Cleveland Browns, Carolina. Who's the worst team? The Patriots, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Las Vegas, and, of course, the New York Giants. Oh, my God, it's Balin. What's good, man? Hope you're doing good. All right, folks. We're clocking out here. Oh, by the way, go Notre Dame. And I need a haircut. Oh, fuck. Look at this, dude. Ooh. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Let's go to Notre Dame, take down Indiana. Thank you guys for watching this iteration of Let's Talk Football, episode number 10. Once again, as always, this is available on streaming sites. The links in the description, or type in Let's Talk Football with Jackson Elstro. And we will see you before Sunday or Saturday. We really need to get back into these. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow, but that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live, especially, and also post live. Have a nice night, and I'm going to enjoy my quarter pounder with maybe double patties, a fry, and probably just a water. I'm kind of lame with that.